We're going to do things a little bit differently on this Monday Night Raw review show. Usually it's the Rated R review crew, but they're not here. And they said, hey, can we get some fill-ins? And we do have some fill-ins so we could talk about this episode of Monday Night Raw. Do us a favor. You're watching Unpopular Review. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. And we will talk about some Monday Night Raw after this intro. I mean, as you can tell by that intro, we are neither any of those individuals in the intro. But I'm a guy from NXT. He's a guy from AEW. What do you get when you leave the Monday Night Raw review door open? You get an NXT and AEW guy reviewing the Monday Night Raw. But hey, I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Poobah, and I'm usually on Tuesday nights, but I'm working on a Monday night. And I'm joined with Venomous Venny from the AEW All Elite Heat crew. We don't get to work often all the time, Venny. So this is I don't know, like a second, third time. But tell the people watching how.
Don't.
No, we don't.
But
I
you ready?
always...
Hold on. You ready? Wait. Ready?
We got
and the
light
comes on.
The spotlight is on you, Venny. I like that. I don't have any. I have this light right here, but it's just like projecting particularly on me. But that's fantastic. Yes.
Oh, God, man, I gotta tell you, I you know, I gotta start off. I don't like the way things are going with WWE right now. Do I prefer watching WWE right now over AEW? Yes, but I just don't like the way. Like, here's my question before we can get into Raw, and you tell me what you think about this. Why is it now that the Vision is now turned on Seth Rollins? And why even put that out there? Like, my thing is, if you're not gonna run it for a while, why even it's the same thing with the Judgment Day. Like Edge, when Edge joined when he formed the Judgment Day, he was in there for what, maybe 3-4 months. They turned on him.
Mm-hmm. It was like it's the same.
Yeah, and it's like Paul Heyman. He's like a hot potato. Like they're passing him around. They're putting sour cream and bacon and cheddar cheese all over this guy.
Ooh,
and it's like X-Pac. He was in both the NWO and
DX. Yeah, no, he was in both. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what I get out of this is that they wanted to write out Seth Rollins. I guess they wanted to wait out and see how severe the injury is. And even now, I don't even know how long. This ain't the possibility he might miss next year's WrestleMania. And I just think they wanted to write him off and put the focus on Braun Mortgage. So, and I think that's not a bad move. Because everything continues to go on without Seth Rollins. And why not put some steam and do something with the Browns and have them, take over for a bit? I don't mind. And Paul Heyman's, his whole character has always been about turning. Listen, a lot of people they feel like this is the first time Paul Heyman has ever betrayed anyone. I go all the way back to 2002 when he turned on Brock Lesnar. Then he turned on RVD in 2006. But I even go further back. One of my favorite wrestling documentaries is The Rise and Fall of ECW. And even in that particular DVD, I was like, this man can't be trusted. When ECW went out of business, he was already in WWE. So
who said that though?
What about him? Like almost like the first time he's ever been. Kids.
Yeah, who said that?
Kids who don't know the longevity of Paul Heyman and what he's, how long he's been turning on people and stuff like that. Because it goes way back.
I was gonna say, bro. Listen, I've been watching Paul Heyman. I remember watching Paul Heyman when I was a little tyke. I was trying to find ECW on tyke. Well, I mean, you remember when ECW was trying to break in on television, and I forget what channel it was. It was it wasn't on a mainstream channel. It was on an off-brand channel,
Mm.
And it was late at night. It was like 12, 1 o'clock. It would come on.
It would come on late. Yep.
Yeah, it would come on late, and then you would have Joey Styles like, oh my god.
That was the voice of ECW. Yeah, yeah. I think for a period of time up here in New York, it was on TNN, but I was never an ECW kid. But I know that they would come on late. I would always hear that about ECW. Like, if you did catch them, it was like maybe 12, 1 in the morning. So I never got a chance to watch any of that stuff. And I'm glad that it's kind of on, it's on YouTube and, I said the network. I'm sorry, because I still missed the network, but Peacock as well. And whatnot. What's going on, Jeffrey? It's great to see you guys. Great to see you guys. We got Cactus Kitty in the chat. We got Mad Dog, the dog of madness in the chat, and Jeffrey. It's always great to see you folks.
You know what blows my mind, Puma? You know what blows my mind is
I am Pumbaa. Yep.
How many times and how many versions have we seen Paul Heyman? I mean,
a lot.
We've seen Paul Heyman with a cell phone. We've seen Paul Heyman with a ponytail. We've seen Paul Heyman with a clipboard. We've seen Paul Heyman with, like you said, RVD, Brock Lesnar.
He has a lot of clients here. Go way back, yeah.
Listen, I am not going to knock WWE for using this man. This man, at one point, this man, like you said, could not be. I don't think could be trusted. But here's where WWE has used it to its full potential, is that they know that Paul Heyman is a businessman. He ran ECW. Now, was he successful at it? Somewhat not. But the man knows wrestling, and he knows how to do angles. And I'm glad they're still using them. I just wish they would use some in more of a I don't like how they pass. Like I was telling you, I don't like how they pass him around.
You feel like he's getting passed around like a blunt. No, Paul Heyman. Look, I think him being paired with the Braun mortgage, I think it's a good move. Look, Paul Heyman's not no magician. I mean, they've tried that with Cesaro. I'm trying to think Ryback, Curtis Axel. And they realized the talent of Paul Heyman, and they realized, like, hey, if we pair these guys up with him, maybe there can be something there. And I mean, I remember, was it last year or the year before? I forget. But there was one episode of NXT, and he came out with Braun Breaker, and I was like, well, that looks about right. So I don't mind them utilizing him like how he does. And also, too, the Paul Heyman character is he can't be trusted. Paul Heyman in the show tonight, when he runs into Becky Lynch, he said, I had no choice. These guys were going to kill me. That's Paul Heyman's whole MO. Paul Heyman is all about Paul Heyman. That's why he turned on Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, RVD. Am I forgetting some names? I feel like I'm forgetting Roman Reigns. He turned on Paul and CM Punk on the same night. Like, this man cannot be trusted at all. So I don't mind it. That's just how he is.
They're saying Big Show.
And Big Show, right. He did. I know too. He was with him for a little bit in 2002 because he turned on Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series of that year. And then Kurt Angle beat Big Show at Armageddon. And then he teamed up. Him and Kurt Angle was randomly teaming up. And then Big Show was upset about this. So, yes, Paul Heyman cannot be trusted. Paul Heyman is, for what the kids say, the streets. Sorry, Paulie. But, yes, Paul Heyman cannot be trusted at all. I wouldn't trust him.
He's the only guy I've not met, bro, that I would love to. I've done like a 15-minute interview with Eric Bischoff, and that was cool because I picked his brain. I would love to meet and pick Paul Heyman's brain on just the aspect of ECW. Like, I mean, it was a concept for not everybody. Not everybody enjoyed ECW. It was brutal for some people. But the story behind ECW and how it was formed and how it climbed the ladder and how Vince McMahon at one point didn't care about ECW, then all of a sudden he buys it. Like there was a trust level of ways for WWE to use and idolize that library. And that's what it comes down to with these companies, man. It doesn't come down to talent. It comes down to library. How can I use that library to my advantage?
Well, they realize if they buy the library, they have something to put on whatever their streaming sites and stuff like that. That's what WWE did. That's why they got. Now, obviously, it was years later that they used them. I'll say years later, but I remember in '06 they had WWE 24/7, and I don't know
Yeah.
what was on that content, but it wasn't as elaborate as the network. So they look at this as a great way of putting out content and having like, hey, look, I bought the competition. And I'm gonna play all this WCW, ECW stuff because that's still nostalgic, and a lot of people still are in love with that product. So I'm not surprised. It's a business move. I think if they could, they would have bought the TNA library, but they have a partnership with them, so there's that. I just look at it as a business move, and that's why they do what they do. I just wanted to touch on something Matt said. He said Sosa says that the war game is supposed to be centered around Seth and Cody. I don't even understand how that could be a thing when Seth is hurt. I don't. That's why I'm very cautious on things that I read online, and I'd rather see how things play out because they're not always correct. But he says also too that now that I have no idea what the War Games match is going to be, we got Jeffrey who says Paul Heyman was a SmackDown GM and used the Undertaker in '04. I feel like if anyone used the Undertaker on SmackDown was Teddy Long because anytime something went wrong, he had Undertaker do his dirty bibs. And Mad Dog says Netflix is actually looking into buying the library, which is actually interesting. I don't know anything about that personally. So
listen. I keep telling Mad Dog this, and I'm going to tell you this. And if you don't see this, you're blind. WWE's already purchased TNA. It's a done deal. Like it's so done that it's so obvious that they're running the game.
So obvious.
They're running the game, and people are so clueless. They're so
like the game,
huh?
No, you said clueless. I was saying like the game. That was the game. Clueless. Or was that a show? I forget.
It's just crazy because it's like every show they highlight the Hardys and just every talent they have. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, did we ever think that we were going to see Cardona back on a WWE television set? Hell no. And I'm not going to say that he's. Yeah. I'm not going to say he doesn't have talent because he does. But you have.
He's always ready.
What?
He's always ready. What are you talking about?
He's always ready to take the L. Real quick, I want to show you this.
That was funny.
Did you see Vince McMahon? Did you see Vince McMahon earlier this week?
Yeah, he had a skunk. Yes, I saw a skunk on his head.
Mac, you know what he looks like? He looks like a gremlin. You remember the Gremlin and Gremlins 2 with his Striper? He looks like Striper with the
I see. I saw the do, and I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if it was a midlife crisis or anything like that. But I mean, hey, if the man likes it, then that's all that matters because he has to wear that.
He got away though. Can you believe that, bro? He got away. He got a slap on the wrist for destroying his Bentley.
They slapped his wrist.
But okay, you're just gonna get a little fine. That's it. Like,
I'm not surprised. I'm honestly not surprised by any of that.
Well, I mean, he has the money, so I mean, it doesn't matter. If you have the money, then you don't have to do the time.
Right. I don't know. I heard a little bit about it, but I always stay away from all that stuff. But I did hear about it, but I'm not surprised by any of that.
And dude, here's the crazy part: Vince McMahon doesn't sign or take pictures. I saw a video beginning of the week of last week. He was getting out of his limo, and there was like 2 or 3 fans waiting at the over by the stairs in British. And bro, he was taking pictures and signing autographs, and I'm like, Vince McMahon has changed. Like he is not the same Vince McMahon. Vinnie Mac is not Vinnie Mac no more. Vinnie Mac is
he's not Vinnie Mac anymore.
No, he has like you said, a midlife crisis. Is going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think things happen, people change and stuff like that. I've seen years ago like stuff where he would take pictures with people and stuff like that. So, on Jeffrey's point now, he's the only man to survive 2 car accidents. I don't know if he's the only man, but I mean, the one that we know of, I would say. But yeah, I'm not surprised by any of that. And what I'm not surprised about is how this episode of Raw was. That's my segue there. I'm going to run some things by you, Venny. You tell me what you think about Monday Night Raw. I thought Monday Night Raw was a pretty decent show. I thought the tag team match was the highlight of the night. I thought that was the match of the night, even if I do say so myself. Let's talk about the open. Adam Pearce, I took notes here. That's why I'm looking down. Adam Pearce, he opens up the show, and as he's opening, Braun Mortgage entered the arena with Paul Heyman. And as they come through, you see Braun Breaker with the World Heavyweight Championship. Adam Pearce announced that Seth is stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship because of his injuries. They said they knew that he was injured, but because of the actions of last week, they had made it even worse. And now they're like, hey, now we're going to have a battle royal later in the night to determine who CM Punk's opponent is for Saturday Night Main Event. Adam Pearce says, all right, now that Seth is stripped of the title, give me the belt. And then Braun used his Bully Braun the Bully. I think we can rename this guy. He sits there and says, make me. And then he says, you didn't say please. So now he's bullying Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce is just like, with all the respect in the world, Braun Breaker, can you please give me the World Heavyweight Championship? So he made Adam Pearce look like a punk here. And you can see Adam Pearce really not liking that at all. You see when he grabs the Heavyweight Championship, he's just like, motherfucker. But, you know, no one's going to say that about Braun Breaker, especially if he starts twitching, then you know you screwed. As a New Yorker, and anytime I take the train, if I see someone twitching, I know I got to leave that cart. And I go into the next one because then I feel very, very safe and warm because I've had tea. It makes me warm inside. So he hands him the belt. And then Paul Heyman explains why they turned on Seth Rollins and they called him weak. And then he said he had a bum ass shoulder. He called him a bum ass shoulder bitch. That's not nice. And he mentions that Braun Breaker is the future of WrestleMania. And then he said Bronson Reed was better than Roman Reigns and said that it's the tribal thief, not the tribal chief. I thought it was a good open. I thought this was a great way to explain the actions of the Division because no one understood why they did it. Everyone just wanted to know how they would. No, that's right. No twitching around me. That I know I need to get the hell out of that. Absolutely, Jeffrey. But I thought it was a great open. I thought it was a fine way of opening up and explain the actions of the Division. But I'm going to give it to you the floor, Vinny. What did you think about this opening for Raw?
I was waiting for Braun Breaker to pull out the Steiner math. Honestly, he was looking at Adam Pearce like he was going to do some Steiner math on him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. Maybe you can fill me in. Maybe I missed a step. But I don't understand why they didn't have like they do every single time. I can't name a champion that they did not let come out and let what do you call it? Relinquish the belt. So did I miss something where Seth Rollins did something way worse that he couldn't come out? I mean, I know he's hurt, but was there something that happened where there was a reason why they stripped him and not had him come out and just?
Well, if I believe they said that he had surgery, so he wasn't going to be out there, so he's home right about now.
To do a pre-tape. I mean, like even like a pre-tape thing, like, hey, I can't be there, guy. Like Seth Rollins over the last couple of weeks that I've watched he's been coming more around the fans. Like he hasn't been his bad guy self. He's becoming more of a not a heel, but a face. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, if you're becoming a face, like, and you just had surgery, totally get that. Why wouldn't you, just let them.
So what you're asking is that you would have liked if there was some kind of pre-tape thing with him not even explaining, but him just giving up the belt, saying, "Hey guys, I can't be the world champion you guys want. Gotta get surgery. I'm going to be away for a bit." I don't think you have to do that all the time. And I think also too to sell the attack from last week, you do a great job. You do that and just keep him off TV until it's time to bring him back. I think I prefer that action. Keep him off TV for a bit until he's ready to come back, to sell the attack.
I don't listen. I'm not, like I said to you, I said at the beginning of the show, I am not a big, what do you call him?
Braun Breaker. Braun Mortgage.
I am not a big, because the thing, I don't think not Braun Breaker. Bronson. I don't think Reed is that good. Like, I didn't think Reed was that good in NXT. Like, I thought he was just another big guy. And I mean, if you really watched his matches, I think he's not as big as Rikishi, but he uses power to his advantage. Like, he's not, he's not for me. Okay, he's not my cup of tea.
That's fair.
Braun Breaker, I can see him being pushed bigger. And I know everybody's gonna hate me. Everybody's gonna hate me for saying this, but you know as well as I do that it's always the case. Okay, a lot of it has to do with his name and who he's related to. Okay, so they're gonna push him accordingly. But I'm telling you this right now: if it wasn't for his background with his uncle and his father, and how he resembles more of Scott Steiner than his father. Like he looks like Scott Steiner more than Rick Steiner,
and he sounds like him too. When he talks, I immediately think of Scott Steiner.
Yes, he does. And I mean, can we both say that did Scott Steiner have a great run as a singles competitor? I would say he had an okay run. I mean,
it was fair.
He became the champion, so yeah. But I would put Scott Steiner's run as the champion like I would put Jeff Hardy as a champion. Like, there's always one brother that gets more, and Jeff Hardy was more than Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy only got the win, like what? He won the ECW Heavyweight Championship. Jeff Hardy won like United States, Intercontinental, like you name it.
He was given a lot. Yeah, no, you could tell between the brothers who was the favorite.
And Rick,
as much as they want to deny it.
The Steiner brothers, Rick really wasn't that. I mean, he won the television title. He won the tag title. He was. I don't think Rick was as big as Scott.
No, not at all. I mean, you can't even compare the two. Scott Steiner, the way he was, I kid you not, growing up in the 90s when I was starting to see Scott Steiner, I knew him from the NWO. I remember playing WCW, NWO. I'm revealing my age here, but WCW versus NWO World Tour and WCW versus NWO Revenge. And I see him with a mullet. And I said, who the hell is that? And then years later, I'm like, oh, that's Scott Steiner. He had a mullet. I didn't know that. I always just thought he was a blonde-haired dude, and then he just hated his brother. But no,
you know what killed me when I was younger?
Sure.
The dude that always followed Hogan, the biker dude,
the disciple. Yeah, the disciple.
I had no idea that was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I had no idea until I saw an interview, and he kept talking about. And I'm like, I didn't put two and two together.
Same. I get you.
And he left. Like, Brutus Barber Beefcake just got up and he was there one day and then poof, he was gone.
So, and it's funny because maybe we should do a WCW versus WCW Nitro review at some point. But he would roll with Hogan for a bit, and then the Ultimate Warrior took him, and he was a part of the One Warrior Nation. Hogan beat him. I never saw this man again. But it's so funny because when you mentioned Brutus, so I knew him as a disciple, but years later when I heard he was Brutus Beefcake. And then for some reason he was called. Do you remember this? Because you watched wrestling in the late 80s, 90s. Do y'all remember when he was called the Booty Man? He was called the Booty Man. I don't know what that gimmick was about, nor do I have any. I have no interest.
He was part of the Dungeon of Doom.
You mean the Booty of Doom? I'm sorry, the Booty.
He had
the Booty of Doom.
He had the white face paint. He had remember the
I already do not like where this is going. He had what on his face?
he had like a white face paint, and then he kind of had like the Macho Man tassels at one point. And then he for some reason he reminded me of Marty Jannetty the way he dressed, because like the Rockers always had that style of like, what do you call them, the fray, like, you know what I mean, like when your costume comes down and like the
I get what you're saying, like this.
The Rockers had that, and then when Shawn Michaels split with Jannetty, which I know you've seen that, where they had him on the barbershop.
Barbershop. Yeah,
that was the biggest. I think that was between that moment on the barbershop and the match that he had with Hogan at WrestleMania. Was it 9? Those were the two biggest moments of his career, really, besides leaving WWE. And yeah, he was this weird Dungeon of Doom character where like he came out with like the Taskmaster and the big the giant at the time. It was
I
a
remember
very
that.
weird time.
It was because I don't think I could ever go with a gimmick and you say you are the booty man because I would hate. Can you imagine you go to the airport and be like, hey, that's the booty man, and everyone would be like, oh no, we gotta lock this guy up because this is terrible. Let's get into a segment with the Usos. They're backstage. Jimmy and Jay, they're now on the same page. And we'll see that later on, later in the main event. But Jimmy lets him know, like, yo, it's every man for himself, and I have to. I'm going to throw you out too. And Jay is like, yo, we good? He says, yeah. Let's get into this tag match here. Oh, there was another segment with Dominik with the Judgment Day, and they're upset. Finn and JD, they're upset that they had to even defend their titles, and said, thanks to you, now we have to defend our titles. And good luck on your match on your own. Roxanne gives support to Dominik Mysterio and tells him, don't worry, you got this because you are the Mega Champion and the IC Champion. He's like, yeah, you right. Okay, I've said all those segments, and there was literally a match before that. But this Judgment Day match, AJ and Dragon Lee, this match was really, really good. They gave him a lot of time. Not going to go through all the spots here. There was this one spot I thought was really, really good. I loved how this was shot. AJ hit the phenomenal forearm on Finn Balor. Finn Balor looked like he's going to eat the pin, but the way the camera was zoomed in, it was really tight. So it looked like he was going to pin Finn, but JD breaks the fall up. And honestly, I did not think we were going to get new tag team champions. I said, oh, Judgment Day is going to somehow retain some way, somehow, whatever. That's fine. This match is fire. I'm not going to hold you. The match is fire. So when AJ hits the Styles Clash and pins Finn Balor, I was shocked that we were getting new champs, and I love this. I don't think this is going to be the long run. They're going to be tag champs for a long time, but I just love because AJ.
This really shocked you?
It did shock me. I didn't expect Judgment Day to drop those titles. Yeah, I did. Why? Let me, Vinny, with your infinite wisdom, tell me how you already knew. I already see where this is going because you immediately shut me down. You was like, you're shocked by this? What are you, just shocked? Okay, Shock Master, tell me.
Let me tell you why I'm not shocked, because Dragon Lee's been out for quite a bit now. So he's coming back. So before he left, he was getting a push. They were pushing him. Yeah, they were.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Was he though?
They're not pushing him for a title, but they were really pushing him to where
getting behind him.
Yeah, and then AJ Styles. This is his last year.
Yes.
So I don't want to jump the gun here, but
let's not have a gun. Period.
What kills me is you. Okay, so you make them win the titles. Cool, fantastic. But what kills me is you put him. He does double duties, and he's in the battle royal. Okay, what kills me is you got this guy that's not only been around the world in so many different promotions, that is so loved and so over. You know, you would think they would give him a title run before he gives up. Like, you would think.
Who are you talking about? AJ?
Yeah. No.
But who's to say? But who's to say that he won't get one?
I know, but they give it to that bum Jay. Like, who wants to see that again? So we've already done it. We've done that. We've done that dance.
So you know what's funny, and we'll get into the battle royal. We're gonna get there. I promise you guys. But I really was rooting for AJ to get the nod. Now, honestly, I don't care who would have won that battle royal. I still think Punk is winning the heavyweight championship. Now, I am in the same boat as you, where I would love, before AJ hangs up the boots, I would love for him to get one more world title run. And it don't have to be long. It just something almost like a appreciation of the many years that he has given to this company, because next year would be 10 years. So yeah. I am totally down for him having one more run with the heavyweight champion. And look, and I agree with this with Jeffrey. He said we still have 1 year to do it. Right now we are in October of 2025. He said, now he never said exactly when in 2026 he was hanging it up. So he might go past WrestleMania, or he might retire around WrestleMania. My point is, we still have enough time to put that championship on AJ Styles, and I do want that for my boy AJ, because that is one of my goats. That is one of my goats. And then win the tag titles. Why not? Why not? And why not switch it up? Let me ask you something. What was, and I like I like Finn Balor, but what were they doing in the Judgment Day with those tag titles?
Well, I'm glad you threw it back to that, because what I really want to say to you is that
Wait. I'm sorry. No. And this might actually be true, but I'm gonna still say no. I'm sorry, because I no. But you might be onto something, because he is in the top 5, like what you call it. I don't know if AJ's top 5, but for me he is. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you've been to NXT before with us, like you've
I
seen
have.
the crowd.
Oh, okay? I love it. It's a good time.
NXT is a very special place that builds stars. Like when you come from NXT, here it is, okay? When you leave NXT and go to the main roster, it's either a make it or break it situation. There is a lot of wrestlers that have come and gone and have gone to the main roster and either have left the company or have gone back to NXT because it's not their time. Okay. When you said about the tag titles over and the Judgment Day, when I saw Finn Balor a couple weeks ago for the special they did at Full Sail.
Oh, nice.
He was still good. Yeah. He was still over as just Finn Balor, like as that old school Finn Balor character. Him in this new role as like some kind of street guy wearing like just regular like joggers, like he's some kind of like street ninja. I don't know what I don't know what he's going with. And even JD, like these two guys at one point were so over in NXT. I just hate when they take something and they don't, like they go a different direction with these guys. And I know things get old and stale, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. And like the whole, with the whole demon and everything, that is still like people still want to see that. Like,
of course.
But that's the problem with WWE. Like I don't think these like they're letting these old school wrestlers dictate these storylines. I mean, for God's sakes, Abyss from TNA is one of the main writers in the back. Okay. And I would not be surprised if he didn't produce that match with AJ Styles winning the belt, because these two guys had fantastic wars over in TNA, back in the 2000s. So I would not be surprised if this guy had something to do with that match. But all I'm getting at is that, you have to look at all these characters they have in the Judgment Day, like Dirty Dom. Okay. He's a mix of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Like he acts more like Rey Mysterio, like
Eddie Guerrero. He acts like his father. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Rey, but then you look at Rey Mysterio and you see his movesets in Rey Mysterio and in Dirty Dom. Like it's like a cross between them. So I feel like each member of the Judgment Day is special, but then when they started throwing these stupid idiots in there, what are the girls doing? Like, do we really
they're doing their own thing,
but like, do we really need like Raquel Gonzalez? She looks like a biker from Terminator 2. I mean, just give her the sunglasses and a Harley and let her ride out there on a Harley. Like, what are we doing? And then it just, I don't know. I listen, I look at things a lot different than everybody else does. And
I see.
I'm not a fan of the Judgment Day at all. Like when you had Edge in there and when you had oh God, what's his name?
Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, when it was the original story.
Those are the OGs. Like those are then when you get rid of them and then you bring in other people, like I can't. Like when NWO started like breaking off and becoming like the Wolf Pack, and I just couldn't. I'm like, I'm done. Like there's only one and one only. Hogan, Hall, and Nash. That's NWO. No $1 Million Man, Virgil, and the Disciple. No.
I will be alone on this. But when the NWO had like 30 members,
it was ridiculous.
I ate that shit up as a kid. And as an adult,
I can see that.
Oh, I love that.
You know, like the Don Callis family.
I love the Don Callis family. You kidding? I love them. Oh my God. I'm so upset. I don't even think they have enough members. I think they're like 2 members short. They need more. I love it. I just would love the Don Callis family is one of my favorite things in wrestling. Me and my cat are getting ready to join the Don Callis family. Mr. Cat is down for the Don Callis family. Right,
I knew you would like them. I knew it. I had a feeling you like the Don Callis.
I love them. I just feel like, it's funny, real quick, we'll get back to Raw, but I was on the AEW Instagram page, and they had Luther's widow there. So, they're talking to her, and she was talking about how her husband would have been progressive, about how today's wrestling is and all that stuff. But I don't care to talk about that. I go to the comments because I think comments are hilarious. And you know what someone asked? They said, hey, is she part of the Don Callis family too?
Listen, I can't with Don Callis family. And then I saw this ridiculous picture today when I was scrolling.
So
12 belts now that Mercedes Moné has. This is ridiculous.
Love it.
This has to be the most ridiculous storyline I've ever seen in wrestling history. This girl is not that talented. She is not.
Listen, I think she's very, very talented. I think she's very talented. Do I think this is egregious, her winning all these championship belts? Absolutely. But I'm for it. You said 12 belts.
She's won 2 other belts.
Yeah. And you know what? She's challenged Chris Statlander for the women's championship. So
I'm going to say this right on Raw right now.
It is ridiculous, though. Admittedly, it's ridiculous. Right on Raw.
I'm going to put this on Raw right now. You can take it to the grave. If she wins another belt and beats Statlander for the belt, I'm retiring. I am retiring from AEW show. I am retiring. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot watch this woman destroy AEW and on all her glory of falling over and fumbling the ball like she does in every match. She's not Sasha Banks anymore. She's
not?
No, she doesn't wrestle like Sasha Banks at all. Like, she'll never have a 5-star match ever again like she did with Charlotte at WrestleMania.
No, Jeffrey, I agree, because I was just getting ready to say, it seemed like everyone's retiring 2025, 2026. Because here you are saying, I will retire. So when she wins belt number 13, Vinny, how do you want this tribute show for you to be when she wins it?
No, you didn't hear what I said. I said belt. I know. I said from Statlander that the AEW World Champ, AEW Women's Champion. Okay. Not another belt, that particular belt. Because listen, there's so many talented women in AEW. And for you to rip that away from all the other women it's ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, that there's so many talented women in there and you're going to give her all the belts.
I do sit here and say, if she does win the AEW Women's Championship and still is the TBS champion, I do think it does a disservice to your female roster, because then what are they fighting for? So I totally agree with that. But I also sit here in the same breath says, I'm for it. I'm just for it. Like, I will sit here and giggle. I will cackle. I will have, and I know everyone is not. I will cackle the hell out of that. And I hope she joins the Don Callis family after.
Oh, stop it. Moving on. What's else going on tonight in Raw?
Let's talk about this match scene in the See, this is the show that people were waiting. It's all right. I will fill you in on this. And I just wanted to say real quick, this is the show that people were waiting for, because we don't work together and they already know this is a train wreck of a show. So we thank you guys so much for watching. And look, Jeffrey's what? Not George. George is only here on Tuesday, but Jeffrey's what? He said he would love it if Mercedes won belt number 13 and joined the Don. And I would love for you to review that before you retire. I would love for you to be on for that show, because that would be quite the meltdown. But Dominik Mysterio defended his IC championship against Rusev, and the match was fine. I mean, it's nothing to go crazy about.
You said the pre. Whatever.
I know I did. I'm sorry. I meant to say there was a match before that, so my apologies. But Dominik and Rusev, they have a match, and what I'm getting out of this here is you have Penta interfering in the Rusev match. Rusev interfered last week. Rusev pushed Dominik Mysterio into Penta, and Penta was upset about that, and he just gets punched in the face. I'm sorry, the way he just got punched, and Rusev, you just see Rusev is just—he's
not the same Rusev though.
He's not the same Rusev.
He's so skinny.
And it's not even his appearance. I don't even feel like he's because he's still massive, but he's not as massive as he used to be, and I do agree with that. But he does it doesn't feel like the same Rusev before he left WWE, and I still root for Rusev. Like, I'm not like this crazy Rusev fan. One of my favorite versions of Rusev, and I have a shirt of it, is Rusev Day. And obviously you have to switch it up and change it up, and I totally get it. But something about this character that's just not working for me, and I want it to work, but it's just not doing anything for me. In this match, though, Dominik retains because he lies, cheating still like his papa, unlike the fraudulent Rey Mysterio. But pins Rusev, and after the match, Penta gets a revenge him with a crossbody, lays out Rusev. And I don't know about Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know if it's going to be Survivor Series, but I do see eventually there's going to be a triple threat between these three. Because they keep interfering in some way, somehow. Like, Penta interferes in Rusev, and Rusev interferes in Penta's. And Dominik always seemed to benefit from this because he keeps winning. And and like Jeffrey's saying, he loves using the hammer, which is funny because last week he used the hammer on Penta. If I'm correct, when Penta was in AEW, it was either him or Pac. But either way, they were using hammers on the Elite. Like, Pac was all about using the hammer, and now to see it being used on Penta, I just think it's quite hilarious. Pac would be very upset and say you should have dodged the hammer. But for some people, if I could just sit here and say, Dominik looked at his watch and he said, "It is hammer time." I wanted to get that joke out so badly. I wanted to get that out so bad. You don't even see right now. You can't see me because the way the camera is, but I do have my MC Hammer pants. You can't see it, but yes, there we go. But what did you do you have any thoughts real quick? Jeffrey saying Dom loves using the hammer to cheat, and he also said Rusev is missing Lana. I think even with Lana though, it doesn't feel the same. There's something missing, and maybe it is Lana. You might be on to something, but I don't know. I don't know, but it's just something is missing here.
I don't care for the character. And here's the thing. I don't care. Listen, after reviewing every week AEW, like I can't with weapons anymore because with AEW, it's like every match is a hardcore match or a battle royal or one for all and all for one. Like I hate pro wrestling like that. Like I come from an era where a match was a match. Like there was no interference until like the very end. There was no like, today's wrestling is not wrestling. Like it's like country. Today's country music is not country music. Like it's like Jelly Roll is a rapper. Okay, he's coming over and doing rock and country and blues. It's not country.
Oh, so he's a hybrid. He's a hybrid.
This is not. We're not watching wrestling anymore. We're watching entertainment. We're not watching a Ric Flair come in and take on a Dusty Rhodes or a Steamboat. We're not watching that anymore. None of those.
No, wrestling is definitely not the same how it was in the 80s and definitely in the 90s. Wrestling is a lot more fast paced and and that's how wrestling is. Like wrestling is always going to be evolving, and there are things in today's wrestling that I'm with you. That there's things I don't like. There's like how everyone has a Canadian Destroy and people kick out at 2 when it should be the match. There are a lot of things, but that's just how wrestling is. Like
I don't care about John Cena. I don't care. I don't care about this tour. I don't care about the.
Well, they did a bad job with it.
Huh?
No, I was going to say they really did a bad job on this tour.
Well, I just don't like. I don't care. Like everybody's like, oh my God, John Cena's retiring. Like you have to understand something. When you leave wrestling and you're gone for so long, people replace you, and that's what happens. Like The Rock, like John Cena, you got replaced. You went to Hollywood, so stay in Hollywood. Don't come back because at the end of the day, we're gonna forget you. But the problem with today's fans are there's such bandwagoners that they're like, oh, like has John Cena done a bad job in any of these matches? No, he hasn't. He's put on some good matches. I'll give him that. But do I care that it's like a tour of like, oh my God, it's his last match is coming up in November. We're like, no.
December. No, it's in December.
Oh, December. Because if it's not against somebody that made his career like Edge or something like that, I don't care. Like, according to what I've read, Edge's contract's up and it's going to be the 90-day clause or whatever is going to come up right when his. So if it's not anything like Jericho or Edge or any of that, I don't want to see it because it should be about people that made his career, people he faced. Like some way or another, Angle should be in there. Angle should come back for like a one-off.
Oh
match.
no. I
mean, you don't think Angle was a big part of John Cena's career?
No, it's not that I don't think that. I just don't think Kurt Angle could give you what we would want from Kurt Angle.
I know he can't.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to see Kurt Angle, and he's retired. I mean, I forget what kind of surgery that he's had over on his body. I don't know if it's the neck or the arm, but I know he had some surgeries, and he's just like, I can't go like I used to go. So when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? Thank you for everything that you've ever done. Your body's beat to shit, and you should just enjoy retirement. I wouldn't want to see Kurt Angle. Jericho does pretty fine for his age, but I still wouldn't want to see that either.
Yeah,
I mean, and I do agree. I do agree.
Go.
I mean, listen, I lower my expectation between AJ and John Cena, and from everything, and it's a shame because I've yet to watch that match in full. I feel like a fool, but I have this week off. I know it was, of course, it was fantastic. AJ and John Cena. What was I going to get at? But I lost my expectation and they end up having a bang of a match. Could Edge and Edge and John Cena have a fine match? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have a solid match, but I don't mind also because there's been rumor, obviously it's rumor, that Gunther would be the one to take him on. And I think that would be fine for Gunther. Gunther, listen, there's been some highs this year, but there's been a lot of lows, and the way they have treated Gunther. And I think going into 2026, and he has retired that fraud Bill Goldberg, and then he'll beat John Cena. He could go like, I'm the guy who retired two greats, two titans of this this industry. I like that for him. I don't think it has to be someone. Did you
watch that match though? Did you actually watch that Gunther match with Goldberg?
What, with him against Bill Goldberg? Yes, I watched.
Horrible.
Yeah, well, Bill Goldberg is not good. Bill Goldberg just bothers me. So when I saw him go against Bill Goldberg, I couldn't wait to see Bill Goldberg lose in Bill Goldberg fashion, because that's how I feel about Bill Goldberg.
They screwed him.
No, I got screwed because I was promised.
They screwed him. They screwed.
No. Let me tell you something. You know how I got screwed? No. Listen, no, not what, because they cut off his mic. Now, I'll admit to that. That wasn't cool, but I don't blame WWE for that. I don't blame them for that. But listen, can I just say something real quick? When I was a child and they would say Bill Goldberg is in action, you know what I said? Venomous Venny. Oh, you're waiting for me to say it. They would say Bill Goldberg is in action. And I would say, is that a threat? Because how dare you put this man on my TV? So please, do not sit here and get me started on Bill Goldberg. Stop it. And Mad Dog, please, Mad Dog. Yeah, Bret Hart. They said Bret Hart cut his mic. Bret Hart, they asked Bret Hart. Bret Hart said, I would have cut it off sooner. I love Bret.
I mean, listen, did I agree with some of the stuff that WCW did with Bill Goldberg to him being so over and so defeated? No, I don't, because you know, people, I don't think a lot of people understand that he comes from the football background. Like,
Listen, Bill Goldberg admitted that he was green, even in that podcast that he had with Stone Cold many years ago. He wasn't the best technical in-ring wrestler or anything like that. He got over because he looked like a superhero, and WCW did right by him by having his match be no longer than 5 minutes. Until he had those matches where he had to go a little bit longer, like when he had that match to win at the Georgia Dome, going against Hogan, and I forget how long that match went, but it went longer than 5 minutes. And the match he had with DDP at Halloween Havoc in '98. I mean, there's been matches where he just had to simply go longer, but they had the right formula for him by having his match short and sweet to protect him. And then obviously going to WWE, they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that, and we're going to have you. Because could you imagine in 2003 him going against The Rock and the match is like 2 minutes or less? They're not going to do that to The Rock.
I couldn't even believe that. here's two people that I couldn't believe they put in the ring together. One was The Rock Goldberg, and the second one was Brock Lesnar. Like, I know they already wanted to see it, but here's the problem with both of those guys. They don't know how to wrestle. They both come from backgrounds where it's real. Like MMA with Brock Lesnar, he's not pretending to hit these guys. He's hitting these guys. And Bill Goldberg, he's tackling these guys because he was a freaking football player.
That's a terrible idea, Jeffrey. Don't laugh at that. Don't
where are we at here? Where are we at here on Raw?
Let's talk about this match. I mean, there was other segments, but Maxine Dupree went against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch looked very deflated because obviously her husband is hurt. And I mean, Maxine Dupree wins by disqualification.
She's getting sexy and sexier, isn't she?
She's a pretty girl.
Maxine
is very, very pretty. She's a very pretty girl. Very tall, too. I think I listened to her on the Chris Van Vliet show, and she's like 5'10", 5'11". She's a pretty tall lady. It was never designed. She was never going to win this match. It was just to show that she has improved. Have you watched enough of Maxine Dupree in the ring to pick up on how much she has improved?
Oh, yeah. She used to be, I don't even, like, when I started watching her beginning, I don't even know why they put her in the ring. Like, she was just there for eye candy. And now she's really starting to, I feel like they're really starting to, come up with something for her. Like,
yeah. Well, you know what I think? I do think this is why I sit here and say, when people talk about Natty, Natalya Neidhart, and I've said plenty of times, I'm on record saying this, while, they're not going to push her to the moon or anything like that. I think it's great that you have someone like her on the roster who can help these girls out. Because a lot of girls, they don't have the indie experience, or maybe don't like the performance center is not enough and they need more reps. And she was someone who contributed. I've seen some of the videos and some of the stuff that she's done, and I was like, holy hell, this is she's totally improved. I mean, is she on the level of Becky Lynch? No, but she's getting better. She's getting more confident, and I like that, because I think you just need to put some more, some stock into that women's division. You can't always depend on the same women, and you need different faces. So I do like that she's improving. I thought she seemed pretty fine in this match. Becky wins by not Becky. Maxine wins by disqualification. Later in the show, Paul Heyman, he's waiting outside of Adam Pearce's office. Adam Pearce was like, "Oh, I didn't know you was here," and he's like, "I've been waiting here for 45 minutes." Anyway, Adam Pearce brings up to his attention, like, you notice on the graphic, Braun Mortgage is no longer on the graphic because they have been taken out of the Battle Royal. Then he forces Paul Heyman. He gets into his face and he says, "Why don't you say please?" And he says, "Pretty please, can you put them on the graphic, put them back into the Battle Royal?" And Pierce says, "See, wasn't that so hard?" He says, "No, this was actually smoothing and relaxing." He says, "No," and he slams the door. Then he gets confronted by Becky Lynch. He tries to tell Becky Lynch he didn't have a choice, and says that you're the breadwinner of the family now, and you're going to be the one to put take care of your family. Becky lets him know that I've never trusted you, and Seth knew that you was going to turn on him, but he said you're going to wish that you have killed him, because he's going to come back stronger than ever, blah, 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 some stuff like that. It was fine. I mean, it was eventually they had to have something with Becky and Paul Heyman. I do kind of appreciate that touch that they confronted each other, because I'm sitting there saying, how can they not confront each other when they're in the same building? So I do like that, that they touched on that and didn't act like she doesn't have any feelings towards it. Because sometimes in wrestling, they'll do things where something happened, but for whatever reason, the other person is oblivious to what was going on. So we got Matt who says, "Guys, when are we getting Becky and AJ Lee?" I don't know, when AJ Lee returns. And I'm sitting here saying maybe before Survivor Series, we might get that match.
What have we seen her do besides that tag team match?
No, after that, we haven't seen her.
Okay.
That was like the last time we saw her. Jeffrey points out BFAB also trained in the Hot Dungeon. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of her stuff. I mean, I think she could use a little bit more work, but maybe it's just I haven't seen enough of her stuff to comment on it. But yeah, once again, I think that's a great thing to have underneath WWE. I think having stuff like the Performance Center and other training schools that are collab or have some kind of connection with WWE. I think it does wonders. Jeffrey also says Becky should have wrenched his tie in a little, what does that say? I'm sorry, let me click this. In a little a tie a little harder. And what, choke him out to death? I don't know. Okay, boom. We'll get to this segment and these last two matches here. Segment, we had the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka brags about hurting Rhea. Rhea was out in Japan over the weekend, and she has a broken nose, but she's still smiling about it. I don't know too many people who smile with a broken nose, but she's taking it like a champ. And Asuka talks about, she liked how Kyrie is being more aggressive, and Kyrie mentioned how Rhea broke into the family, and it seemed like they are not done torturing Rhea Ripley. The Kabuki Warriors. But the segment was fine. And Asuka did her Kyrie. Maybe we get that one day as a soundbite here, because her yelling Kyrie's name has become a funny thing. Have you been keeping up a little bit about the stuff with the Kabuki Warriors and Io and Rhea Ripley?
I really haven't, man. I've been trying to watch NXT more.
Hey, let me ask you real quick as you watch NXT. I don't know who you think my favorite is, but what do you think of one JC James? And I want you to know our friendship is on the line here.
JC James. She's part of the JC James. She's part of the She's a champ.
She's the greatest NXT Women's Champion. Yes.
How do I put this?
Why are you thinking about this? It's a simple yes. She's the best. What are we doing?
Okay. So she at one point was the backup dancer for Mandy Rose.
The backup dancer.
She was the
what?
Backup dancer. She was.
She wasn't. They wasn't dancing. They were. She's a part of a faction. Dancing.
But I always knew. For some odd reason, I knew when Mandy Rose, because it was only time. Like Mandy Rose was too good for herself. So
we should move on, Jeffrey. Go ahead.
When Mandy Rose got fired for what she did, I knew that she was going to take up her position and become the new star of NXT. So I don't hate her. I just don't think she can fill those shoes.
I mean, it depends on the shoe size. I can't fill certain. I wear a size 9. I couldn't fill a size 11.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know what I mean. I don't think she's a bad wrestler. I just at some points I don't see her entertaining, but some days I do.
Well, I need you to watch the NXT review show tomorrow, because I will sit here and educate you on the one JC James. Well, I'll save that for Tuesdays for my rant. Yeah, you hear this, man? A backup dancer. This wasn't a Britney Spears video, and they're sitting there doing, what are you even talking about? Venomous backup dancer. How dare you? But let's talk about this match. Stephanie Vaquer went against Roxanne Perez, and this was fine.
That was a really match.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, look, they got Stephanie on. They wanted to put Stephanie on air. They love Stephanie Vaquer.
No, she's not. I agree. Well, I don't know if she's saying this, but I don't see her being convincing on the mic. No.
Who?
I think she's very. I think she needs more promo skills.
Who?
We're talking about the backup dancer.
Well, you're gonna stop calling her a backup dancer, because she does not backup dance. This is not a music video. I think on the mic she's fine. I feel like she got all the tools to be eventually. I listened to Z. Shout out to him on the SmackDown Penitentiary show. Him and Matt was on there, and they did a really good job from what I watched. And he mentioned about her being an NXT lifer, and I just don't see that being the thing. Because one, I don't think you could be on NXT for that long, because they will cut you. And I also think that she would be a great addition on either brand. I always say Raw, because I just think her. Something about me and her, me seeing her with the IC title, I just like that visual. But my point is, I think that she has the tools to be a player. And I said on the Big Pop Theory podcast that maybe towards the end of the show, we'll do a top people that we could see being on the main. I was eavesdropping, Jeffrey. I was right there, and Jeffrey was right there, because he said, "Don't let Jax hear it," and I said, "Too late." But I'll say my NXT thoughts, but I was saying towards the end, we'll probably do like a top 5, top 3.
They need to shake it up a little bit, man. They need to. I think they see.
Well, like Taylor
Here's
Swift. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Sorry.
Like, okay, so I've always looked at this draft as a stupid tool for WWE to just waste time. But now that we have, well, they don't consider it the third brand anymore. But realistically, if you think about it, NXT is like the third brand. I think they should shake things up where I think there's a lot of wrestlers that could go back to NXT and have some more time, like B-Fab. I also think that like Johnny Gargano and Ciampa need to go back to NXT to shake it up because here, like, you know, he was saying about lifers. I'm not going to say people are lifers, but here's the problem with WWE does. And this is one thing that I have not said it to you guys on the NXT show. NXT, they take the stars and they move them up too quick. And then they have nothing else to replace NXT stars with. And that's what pisses me off about NXT is that you have, you have Oba Femi, and now Oba Femi's moving up and now Trick Williams is going to move up. Like, you have these people in NXT to get ready to bring in new superstars. I get that. But how do you get rid of these big guys and not have anybody to replace them with? Because there's not another Trick Williams. There's not another Oba Femi. Okay. There's nobody to fill those boots. None.
You know what I think about though, when you do call someone like a Oba Femi, a Trick Williams, even some of the women down there, I think it creates opportunity. So I can't think on top of my head like someone right now. Ricky Saint is the guy on top, and he's probably going to have a little bit of. No, I think he's
horrible.
He's horrible. I don't think that. I didn't. Did I think he should have been the one to beat Oba? No, but I don't think he's horrible.
No,
I don't think he should have been the one. But like they went in that direction, and I mean, look. Eventually, some of these guys get called up, and it's like you said it earlier. It's hit or miss. And when you do call some of these people up, that leads someone like a Miles Bourne, who, I mean, right now you have all these other wrestlers ahead of him. And maybe someone, when you call up someone like an Ethan and Oba and all these other names that we're mentioning, this person could get an opportunity. And same thing with the women. Honestly, if Stephanie and Julia were still on NXT, I think they would still be on top while all these other women I don't want to say held down, but I'm just saying it gave opportunity, and that's how I look at it. That's how I view it as that.
Well, it's not just on top. I look at it like this. Okay. Let me back up real quick. When they did that thing at Homecoming where Triple H and Shawn Michaels were face to face, okay? To me, and then freaking William Regal came out and goes, "That's War Games."
I thought have a code.
I thought it was going to be Triple H's team versus Shawn Michaels' team, and
a lot of people thought that.
Yeah,
a lot of people did though.
Yeah, but here's my question: why, if you're not going to do that, why did you do it? Why did you put that in our heads? If that's not
but look, I think it was a tease. It was a callback. So when we say War Games has been a staple on the main roster since 2021, 2022. Someone correct me about it, but it's been a main staple for a few years on the main roster. And I didn't think that they were going to bring it back to NXT. I didn't think that at all. I was one of the ones.
No. I'm not saying bringing it back, but what I'm saying to you is that like they could have done Team NXT. They can still do it. I mean, I thought they were going to do Team NXT versus Team TNA. I mean, listen, when the Undisputed left, I feel like NXT really just dropped. Like the Undisputed and those guys in that group, really, people would when you have a crowd and every week they do a certain thing, like Adam Cole, baby, and the whole place goes nuts, that is
that's over. No, they're over. Yeah.
Yeah, people look for that stuff. Like whoop that trick. That place goes nuts when Trick Williams comes out. Okay. And then what they do is they leave that and then they go to the main roster, but now you don't have that void to fill. And that's what I hate for NXT. NXT has a lot of people, but if you don't have that one guy, that one person to be that void, Like what I mean, dude, if you were at Homecoming and you saw all the stars they brought back, there are so many stars that I think could fit right in with NXT and could give NXT such a boost in ratings, because that's all it is. It's about ratings. It's about making money. And when you don't have the right people making that rating for you, you're not making the right money. So you have to divvy up who you have on these rosters to bring these people. Now they've done listen, they've done great with bringing these people back and also doing TNA coming over. They've done good.
That was fun.
But where are you going to go with this now? When are you going to announce that TNA is being bought? Because that is on my mind, bro. I'm telling you, that is going to happen. Like, everybody is, it's already happened. Okay. TKO is not a stupid company. Okay. They're there to make money. There's so much roster and there's so much library that they could use on WWE. There's so much. They don't care about the wrestlers. They care about the library. It's about the library, man.
It's about the library, guys.
It's about the library. You need that library card to get that information.
I like how you mentioned library card. I feel like there's people who have no idea what a library card is.
Oh, but God. What?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I get myself in trouble at a library because when you go to a library, you're allowed to check out, I think, 100 items.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So like down here we have like 4Ks, DVDs. So like I'll go to the freaking library and I'll come up with a box full of movies.
Oh, there we go. I'm banned from libraries, so I didn't know you could do that.
You're what?
I am banned from libraries.
Banned?
Yes, banned, meaning
how do you get banned from a library?
So I didn't know what shush meant. I thought they would just. Never mind.
You didn't know what shush meant?
Yeah, it's
what?
Yeah, so you can only imagine how loud I am. So I'm not allowed in libraries. They literally have warning: do not let this man in. But let's get into the main event real quick. Let's get.
You got corrected.
Yeah, it was in 2017, but I was saying on the main roster. When did it come onto the main roster? He hasn't had a library card in a long time. Same here. All seriously speaking, I haven't had a library card in so long. Charmaine lets us know that tomorrow is her husband's birthday. His name is Lewis. So let me tell you something, Charmaine. Happy birthday, early birthday to your husband. And here's my birthday gift to him. He could tune in on Popular View tomorrow for the NXT Trio show. After NXT go off the air, horrible. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and we will sing happy birthday. Matter of fact, I will sing happy birthday to him now.
Happy birthday, Lewis.
Oh, that's not your singing voice, Lewis. I mean, Lewis. You're not Lewis. You're Venomous Venny. Matter of fact, I'm going to say my birthday voice tomorrow. I had enough tea. But let's get into the main event here. Was someone flushing? Like, that's rude.
Yeah, that was me. I was flushing.
Can you make sure you wash your hands? That really pisses me off. Like, that time I'd be right by a bathroom. It pisses me off so fucking mad because, like, I'll be right there, right? And I'll hear someone come out the bathroom, then open the door. I'm like, I didn't hear no motherfucking water. And you know what? And you know what irritates me about it? Because then it was 2020 that people had to sit here and go like, oh, I guess I should wash my hands. No, you should have been knew that. That's just it just upsets me. That don't work for me, brother. But let's get to the main event. It was in 2022 for the main roster. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very, very much
for
that. That they had the first War Games, and that one was the Bloodline against Sheamus. What was it? What was it called? The Brulin Brooch or something like that. Drew McIntyre and was Kevin Owens in that? I feel like Kevin Owens was in that one because that was the one where Sammy hit him with the Huluva kick and KO the next night said, I just don't want to be your friend anymore. But let's get into this main event here. I talked about Stephanie Vaquer. She went over against Roxanne Perez. Roxanne and Raquel. I'm sorry, I had to think about her name. They jump her. Then Nikki Bella comes out after the save. She tells Stephanie, like, I wish I had someone to tell me, have my back when I was which I immediately said, this is bullshit. Like, you had your sister and Alicia Fox. What are you talking about? But whatever. I digress. But Nikki says you need to watch her back. All I'm saying is Stephanie should really watch her back because I don't trust Nikki Bella. I think Nikki Bella's on to something. Nikki Bella, she's been back this year. hasn't done a whole heck of a lot, and as a babyface hasn't been working. So I can see her. I can see a heel turn happening, and she sits there and say, "Everyone forgets about me being the longest reigning Divas champion and how I held the division, and I'm not some nostalgia act, however you want to word it." But I do see some kind of way that she does turn on Stephanie Vaquer, and Stephanie needs to watch her back because I just do not trust Nikki Bella at all. I just think this is a setup. But they're going to have a tag match, I believe, next week where it's Nikki and Stephanie going against Roxanne and Raquel. Battle Royal. I said I could see Nikki.
Oh, you said Raquel.
Raquel. Oh, Raquel. Yeah, I'm sorry. Raquel.
I thought it was like raccoon or something. I was like, who?
No, not a raccoon. They shouldn't have a raccoon in the ring because that's very dangerous. Why is Nikki back? I don't know why she's back. I guess she signed a contract and wanted to come back to the ring. I can't answer that. We got Charmaine says, "I'll see you next Friday. What are you going to do for Halloween?" Nothing. Because I have no money to get a costume, so I just will show up. But if you guys have candy, and I'm not a big candy guy. Yeah, I remember. What's it called? Fruit by the Foot. There was that long candy.
Oh yeah, Fruit by the Foot. Yes.
Oh yeah, that was so great. Like I feel like kids don't know what that is these days.
Oh, they don't. Gushers, you know Gushers?
I loved Gushers. Like Gushers are so great. Yes. I'm glad that they still do that. Do you remember the candy? Where it wasn't even candy; it was a cookie. You could get the cookie and you dipped it in like some kind of like dough or whatever. That used to be so great.
Oh no, Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos. There we go. Dunkaroos. I used to see those commercials on there.
What about when you went to like 7-Eleven or one of the gas stations? You get the stick and you dip it in different sugar.
Oh yeah. And it would be sour, right? It would be sour.
Yeah.
That's so great. When I have a sweet tooth every now and then, I could go for those. Those ain't bad. We got in this battle royal. Jack should be Goldberg for Halloween. You're next. Give me your candy. I want you to know, Jeffrey, that was completely rude. That was completely and utterly rude, and I'm very disappointed in you that you would even think that I would want to be that bald man. He's ruining my life consistently. My mother, who's a Bill Goldberg fan, I don't understand why this happened.
Is she really though?
No, she really is. So funny story, real quick. I remember one day I came home and I see my mother and she said, "Yeah, I saw this match and this guy who's beating up everybody." I was like, "Yeah, what match was this?" She said, "Yeah, he was white and bald headed." And I said, "Oh no." And I immediately knew it was Bill Goldberg. And I said, did he tackle someone? And she said, "Yeah, I love that guy." Very upsetting. It has my blood pressure went through the roof. So this battle royal, we have Usos. They're in this match. We have Finn Balor, who got pinned earlier in the night. JD McDonough, AJ Styles, Sheamus. Oh, Grande Americano.
What a joke that is.
I got to say, I saw him at WrestleMania, and it was great. He's the second greatest luchador of all time, right underneath Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. Is it who who it is?
No, who is it?
It's Ludwig Kaiser.
Are you sure? Do we have any?
Do we
have confirmation?
I can give you confirmation if you want a confirmation.
Yeah,
I can give you the chin on his chin, and I can give you the different parts of the chest that look just like his. It's him.
I thought so, but I saw a picture with them standing next to each other, so it threw me off. Are you sure? Like,
I know it is. I know. I can see it in his eyes, bro. I'm not stupid. Where is it? If it's not him, where's he been? He hasn't been on TV.
Well, I just thought he just was underneath a bed cleaning it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, go on.
We have Grande Americano, who I saw at WrestleMania this year. It was fantastic, and he would have beaten that fraud Rey Mysterio, but he faked an injury. We have I said the War Raiders, but I don't think the other guy was in there. I think it was just Ivar. I don't know if he was in that one too. Who are the other two, Venny?
Other two what?
There's two other Americanos. One is Americano red and blue.
Chad Gable.
Well, Chad Gable was hurt.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they replaced him.
You can't replace Gable. He's unreplaceable.
No, Gable was Americana, and then they had to replace his position in that character, so they got Ludwig Kaiser.
Matt is I feel like everyone's just trying to they've left me in charge this week of UPR, and I don't know how I'm going to deal with one Venomous Venny and Mad Dog Kelly, because here he is in the chat saying Rey Mysterio is the second greatest. No, he's not. He's like, he doesn't even crack top 10. He's a fraud. He's the greatest fraud that ever breathed.
No,
But
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon was great. Ultimo Dragon was a great one. No, he was great. It was sad that his run in WWE didn't work out for him, but he was a great.
You knew it wasn't going to.
I didn't know that.
I don't know, but maybe 2 WCW stars that actually worked out after they left the company. There was just 2.
So let's see. We have Booker T. Rey Mysterio was able to fraud it up a little bit.
2. That's the 2.
Yeah, Goldberg didn't work as much.
Well, but I guess you can say Jericho. Jericho had a good run.
Jericho did have a good run.
Well, but hold on. Jericho was gone. Jericho was gone before they went out of business.
So we're talking about, like, are we just talking about when they went out of business?
Yes, we're talking about people that transitioned over to WCW. Booker T. I would say Rey Mysterio. Well, no, I can't even say Rey Mysterio because Rey Mysterio was in there. So
no, really, Rey Mysterio came in after they went out of business. And I do have to sit here and say,
so I would say Booker T.
Ray, you gotta put Ray in there.
No, I mean, who else? Because everybody else, I mean, like Bagwell was in there for a little bit, but they got rid of him.
Yeah, he was only there for a cup of coffee. He didn't even really last. Nash didn't really last. I can't say Hogan because he was already like a WWE guy.
Flair, Flair didn't. I mean, Flair came and gone.
Flair, I mean, I think I could count Flair in a way. I mean, it's kind of hard
to. Didn't even come, and even Sting's run in WWE wasn't that great.
That was terrible. I don't even like to use the word fumble, but they really messed that one up.
Well, when he got hurt with Seth Rollins and he did that buckle bomb.
But even before even before that, I lost faith in him once he lost to Triple H at that year's WrestleMania. I thought that they did a disservice. Obviously, he wanted to go there to face The Undertaker. The Undertaker had other plans and didn't want to face him for whatever reason. I just think there was so many ways that could have been booked. Even if he wasn't facing Undertaker, there was so many other matches that you could have had happen and still utilize him like the legend that he is. So I think even before he got hurt, they didn't know what they were doing.
I can't think of another person, bro.
I can. It's to me people that I agree with that, Jeffrey. He did want to stick it to WCW. I don't know. It wasn't a whole lot of names. I think you could count on your hands. I feel like this is something where I would really have to sit here and think about who really made it out of
because all the big guys left after when Vince Russo took it over and they started doing the whole WCW 2000. A lot of those people left, like they didn't want to deal with the BS.
No,
so they left.
Charmaine asks, "Am I going to karaoke next Friday?" Maybe. I don't even know if that's still a thing that's going to happen, but maybe that could be. Maybe I'm going. I'm not too sure, Charmaine.
All right, who else is in this match?
Charmaine knows that Jimmy Uso is going to make Jey Uso lose. And real quick, before we touch on some of this stuff, Jeffrey said we could have had Sting versus Taker, and we could have, but I don't think Taker was interested. And Mad Dog says Sting never showed up till 2015. Did you? Actually, Matt, he showed up in 2014, November of 2014 Survivor Series. So please don't you tell me shit about wrestling because I've been watching wrestling a long time. Mad Dog. He probably sitting there giggling, probably going.
you know, the only reason why Sting signed WWE for a little bit was because they probably offered him a boatload of money.
Well, I think I don't even think that I don't even think it was the money at that point. I think he had the money. It's not that. I think he just wanted to get this bucket list. He wanted to go against Taker, fulfill the dream of being at a WrestleMania. I think there was things that he wanted to do. It
didn't happen though.
He did have his match at Mania. To me, listen, he said he was satisfied with the match, and that's all that matters. Because he dealt with that. I'm just a fan, and I just thought he deserved better. But he did have that match at WrestleMania, and unfortunately, we never got that match with him and Taker. And I think they could have still, at that time, that was 10 years ago, we could have had something, but between them, I think we could have still got something there. And I do agree with that too, Jeffrey. I do think he waited too long. I think he should have showed up in 05, 06, but I sit here and say if he showed up early, we would have never had that run that he had in TNA. And I really enjoyed that run that he had in TNA. So, I mean, it is a double-edged sword. It would have been great if he showed up in 05 and he's facing a younger Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, legend killer Randy Orton. I mean, this list goes on, but he's not facing AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, the main event Mafia, Kurt Angle, Question, Charmaine says, why do you call yourself the great Grand Slam Pooh Bar? I've never been asked that before. I don't. It's what you think. It's the whatever you think is the reason why I call myself the Great Grand Slam Pooper. I leave it up to your interpretation on why I call myself that. But let's get into this main event real quick because it is going close to midnight. Great Grande Americana, Ivar was in here. I didn't know if both New Day members, but I saw Kofi, Grayson Waller, Penta, and LA Knight. And matter of fact, I want to highlight that real quick because I'm gonna put this in my stories because I've never been asked this before. This is fantastic. Why do you call yourself the Great Grand Slam Pooper? I'm gonna make sure I screenshot that. Honestly, I was rooting for AJ Styles to win. I was just thinking, like, man, it would be cool if we get CM Punk, AJ Styles. I do hope that we do get that match at some point, a one-on-one between the two. I forget the last time they faced each other. I know it was an ROH show, and I want to say it was in 04. But now, years later, I would just like to see what they could do in the ring now. Obviously, that wasn't going to happen because AJ Styles got eliminated. Jey Uso wins this match by he turns on his brother. He turns on his brother. His brother is getting ready to eliminate LA Knight. They look like they're in this scuffle, and he just flips them both over. And no shame.
Before we see, this is what I mean. Though we've seen this before. It's just they keep doing the same storylines over and over again. Like they split, they come back. They split, they fight, they come back. Like it's been done before. It's old. Move on.
I didn't want Jey to win this. Whatever. Jey wins. Jey is going to be putting over CM Punk. I don't see him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. But the story here is Jey and Jimmy. And Jimmy looking at his brother as Jey is becoming a mini Roman Reigns. He even said earlier in the night, it was something over the lines of like, yeah, but Big Oos was here. And Jimmy's like, well, he ain't here. And he's looking at his brother funny. Stephanie Brooks, hi there. I've never seen you in the chat before, so I'm going to wave hi to you. Hello. Please hit that like and subscribe button, but says that Jey was corny for that. And yes, Jey was. I was disappointed in Jey. I remember just looking at Jey. I was like, bro, what are you doing? But, we say that, but I look at Jimmy as an idiot, though, because Jimmy said earlier in the night, if I have to, I'm going to go hard. I'm going to eliminate you. But he was soft for his little brother or his brother. I don't know who's the oldest. But he's soft with this, and he should have sat here and eliminated Jey. Listen, Jey was corny for that, but Jey did right because it's every man for himself. Why was Jimmy protecting his brother? You have a wife who is pregnant, and you got to put food on the table for your wife, and you protecting your brother? Listen, I'm all about protecting my brother, but I got to make sure my child eats. And Jay's not going to sit in the way. Jay's coming off. He's not going to help feed his I don't know what the sex of the child is, but he's not going to be feeding his nephew and niece. So I think Jimmy did wrong by this. Jimmy should have eliminated him. We should have CM Punk and Jimmy Uso at this thing. Honestly, at this rate though, you know what Jimmy should do? Venomous Venny. He should join the Don. He should join the Don Callis family.
Oh God.
Stephanie said, this is my first time watching. Well, we're glad that you're here, and we hope that because the show's getting ready to end, but we do appreciate you stopping by. I hope that you tune in again for next Monday or even tomorrow. I don't know if you are an NXT viewer, but we do review NXT right after go off the air, and same thing with my co-host here. He does the AEW side of things. So we hope that you are here and continue to join us here on this network.
So many shows here on UPR we have to talk about. We also do Friday night the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Oh, for sure.
We also do I have a show on Saturday mornings called Saturday Morning Review that I've been having a hard time. I keep thinking that when you upload a show it's going to actually air at that time, and it's not that case. So
we could talk about the off air so we can fix that thing out. But I do want to ask you, they've been you're a Hulkamaniac, so I'm just curious. Would you review the what was that Hulk Hogan cartoon? Because I saw that, I kind of thought about you about that. Would you review that?
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. They keep putting new episodes up on their YouTube vault.
YouTube,
yeah. No, I would review them. I would. I just I have to start watching them.
Well, we'll talk. Maybe off air, I'll help you out with some of the things. Stephanie says, I can't get into NXT. Well, that's disappointing. NXT is a fun show. It's a fun watch. I'm hoping to go to the NXT show out here in November in New York. They'll be at MSG, but I'm waiting to see what the card looked like because last time I went to Roadblock, which was a fun show, JC Jane wasn't there, and I was highly upset. But it was a good show. Obafemi and Moose had a really good match.
Have you been to the New Hogan restaurant yet?
No, I don't even know where it's at.
Right next to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I had no idea. I haven't been in MSG, or at least in that area, in a while. So maybe if I walk by there, I'll, just look at it and check it out and stuff like that. I didn't even know it was in. I heard about it, but I didn't know the location. So, yeah. Jeffrey says yeah, you should try it. You'll love it. Yeah, I mean, if not, just come to the review show. It's a party, so just stop by. But we hope that you, once again, you just continue to enjoy your stay here and join us for all the other shows. So with that said, that is the show. We're longer than the Monday Night Raw review show would ever do, and they're probably going to chew us out for this, like bubblegum. But with that all said, we have shows. Monday nights right after Raw go off the air. We're not usually the host here, but you can check out the executive consultant. He's on vacation right now. Big Daddy Cool. He took the night off. God knows where Willie Steaming Beaming sat. And God knows. On Tuesday nights, right after NXT goes off the air, you got myself, the great Grand Slam Pooba, joined with the Dog of Madness, Mad Dog Kelly, and the sensational Sabrina Estella, and we review everything NXT. And I yell why JC Jane is the greatest NXT Women's Champion. On Wednesday night, you can catch Venomous Venny, the Sheriff, and Cactus Katie, and they talk about all things, all elite heat. And they talk about the greatest AEW faction of all time, the Don Callis family.
Yeah,
and then I love that group so much. Like they just get bigger. Like I just want them to get so big. They just form this like machine. Remember like the Power Rangers that became a Megazord? I just hope he gets enough members to make a Megazord.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Oh, on Friday night, you could catch the Penitentiary Crew. You got Z the Silent. And sometimes he has a guest. I think Vic is taking some time off for the time being, but usually they have it on Fridays right after SmackDown go off the air. And same thing with entertainment. You talked about the stuff that you do with the entertainment side, so please check out my co-host here, the content that he puts out there. Right now, the trio, we're figuring out something to review at the moment. So eventually the trio will be back in action as well for the entertainment side. And I feel like that's everything that we plug here. Yes, there is no steaming, willing, beaming tonight. Charmaine says good night. You have a great night, darling, and I hope that your husband has a great birthday. Mad Dog says I cannot wait for the Halloween Havoc. Yes, we are having a Halloween Havoc prediction show this Thursday. We will be doing that tomorrow. I will give what I think is going to happen because JC Jane is defending her championship against Tatum Paxley. I have exclusive footage on what I think is going to happen, but you can only see it on Tuesday night. So please tune in for Tuesday. Jeffrey says the group has tense between Takesha and Okada. Yes. And he says, we appreciate you. I know when the show goes off, they play this gangster rap music. Let me see if I can find it and I could play for you guys. Because I know they play it. Is this it? Let me see. Okay, that's how they usually do it. It's very loud. Very loud. We thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys for our respective show. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you guys real quick. We'll get into this chat real quick. Who is this person who wrote us? It's fire. You guys are fire. We appreciate you guys. Hit that like, subscribe, notification button. I'm yelling because the music is so loud, and we'll see you guys for the next show.
Bye, guys.